Okie dokie, little smokies. Now that we have already done our research, we are ready to start our journal activity. First, let's review vocabulary. First word, repeat me please. Living. Are fish living? Yes or no? Do they need energy? Yes. Do they grow? Yes. Can they make babies? Yes. Do they die? Yes. Fish are ding, 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 living. Next word, repeat me please. Needs. What are the needs of a fish? Does it need water? Does it need food? Does it need air to breathe? Today, we will be showing those needs in our habitats. Everybody say that each word, please. Habitat. A habitat is where the animal lives. What kind of habitat are we drawing today for the fish? Where does he live? In a aquarium. Everybody say aquarium. You will be drawing me an aquarium today. It is a habitat for things that live in water. Today, you will draw an aquarium, you will have water, and you will have a living thing in there. Last word we have to use is shelter. Your fish needs a shelter in the aquarium. You're not going to draw a tree trunk like this bird's shelter. But remember, the fish wants a safe place to be protected and not be scared. What kind of shelter are we going to draw underwater in the aquarium? Where could a fish hide underwater? Do you see any ideas here? You got to draw them for me today. Let's read our instructions. Watch this teacher video. Thank you. To illustrate an aquarium, we have to include food, air, water, and shelter. How many things do we have to have in this aquarium for our fish to survive? Four. So let's get started. I know you already got your journal. I know you got your pencil. I know you got your crayons. Now I need you to open up and turn to the first clean page that you have in your journal. Don't start skipping pages. We don't want to waste the trees. Here I found one right next to yesterday's science. Let's get started on our new clean page. We always start with today's date. Give me a 4 for April, 8 for today, 2021 for the beautiful year we're having. Now, I've got this great spot up here on the top. That would be a beautiful rectangle aquarium. Or if you feel like you need a bigger space, you can always turn sideways and draw a larger rectangle. I think I am okay just to use this section up top. Everybody will need to create your aquarium. I'm thinking of this square rectangle type of aquarium. Or you could draw a rounder one like this, boys. But everyone has to have some sort of container for the fish to live in. It's habitat. Here we go. Now we have our habitat, our aquarium in a square. What do I need in this aquarium? Food, air, water, shelter. And I have to have a fish. Or maybe you want a crab. Or maybe a lobster. But what would live under the water? Not a bunny rabbit. Everyone's going to start with a fish. Show me what kind of fish you want. Remember, it's not too big. 1 to 2 inches. A little tail. A little fin. And what are those things it needs to breathe? What? Gills. Give me a curved line to show those gills. And an eyeball and a mouth. I finished my little fishy. Do you have a fish or an underwater living thing? Let's keep going. This fish needs food. Remember on Pebble Go, where does the fish get its food? Let's go look again.
Animals.
There he is, giving that food. Just a little pinch of food. So let's go add some food to go in our aquarium. I'll show. Here's my little tube. It has that label that I had to read, remember? I'm even going to write food on it. And then I'm going to show I'm giving little pinches of food. Here's my fingers. That doesn't look like a hand, but hey, now you know. I'll even label it here. D. We have the labels on the screen to help you label your picture. If you're like me, get a label so your teacher knows what that is. Here's some food. I pinched it off to give them just a little bit. Do you have food? Now we need air. Where does this fish get its air? We know it uses the gills, but where does the air come from? Here by my fish, I'm going to draw little bubbles coming out of his mouth, going all the way to the surface. The fish can take the oxygen out of the water using his gills, and some of the bubbles float up to the surface. So I've got my gills, I've got my bubbles. Let's label those bubbles A-I-R, air. Here's that A word here, air. Your fish needs air to breathe. Next, we need water. This whole tank is filled with water. I'm going to show with some little wavy detail lines. This is the water. We got to label water. Find a spot where you have some clear space to write water. Water. I'll color it blue later so my teacher knows that is water. So far, I've got food. Check. I've got air. I've got water. Shelter. Remember, the fish get scared sometimes. What are you going to draw that he can hide behind? Like these little plants this bowl has? Down in the bottom, the rocks.
Pets. Home.
Or this bigger tank has lots of things inside there we can add. Big rocks, kind of a cave hole, big plants. We need some details. Please go to your illustration. And I'm going to start with my rocks here on the bottom. And then add some plants for my fish to hide in. I like the idea of the little cave. I think I'm going to add a cave too. Kind of like in SpongeBob SquarePants, he has the pineapple house. What can your fish hide in, live in? Here's a little rocky cave. I can't wait to show my color details so you know what these things are. But I need one more label. Shelter. Repeat it and write it. Shelter. Is your fish going to hide in a plant or hide in some rocks? Wherever you decide to add some shelter, give it a label. Shelter. Check the screen. Shelter. And spell it correctly. Now let's make sure our fish can survive in this aquarium. Check your work with me, please. Does your fish have food? Do you have a label? Does your fish have air to breathe? Gills, bubbles, label. Does your fish have water to swim in? Label. And last, it needs shelter to be protected and feel safe. Does your fish have shelter with a label? If you have all of these things, it's time for you to get those crayons, add more details, and make this aquarium beautiful and colorful. I cannot wait to see all that your fish has to survive. When you are done, when your aquarium looks like this picture here, lots and lots and lots of color, then it's picture time to turn into your teacher on Google Classroom. Nice job today, my fishy friends. I can't wait to see your colorful aquariums. Hasta mañana!